Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to show you in simple steps the 3 different layers of end-user simulation depictions. So let's start with the first one. The first one is the operational dashboard. So this is basically what you see right now. So on the operational dashboard you have a kind of helicopter view where you see basically a kind of result set for each of the simulations types. So we have one for Skype simulations where we see that out of 6 simulations, all of them are reporting a green state, indicating that they are running fine. We have the same stuff for Exchange, OneDrive and SharePoint simulation basically available. So you basically see at a glance, are my simulation bots performing well or do they have any issues? Besides of that information, you have here in the upper corner some sort of KPI information. So you see, for instance, if I take this OneDrive web icon, I see that on average within the last 3 hours, my 5 OneDrive simulations, they took about 15 seconds on average to perform the simulation process basically. The quickest one was done within 11 seconds and the slowest one, it took him almost 30 seconds, half a minute, to perform all the simulation steps, all the necessary simulation steps. So you get here a kind of information giving you some insights about, are my simulations performing fine from an average figure, or do they have also some sort of issues that they're, So this is the first layer. The second layer of information, or the second layer of as end user simulation depiction, is when you drill down into the details page, or if you click on the icon itself here. So for instance, if I just take here the OneDrive web, it will open up immediately the second layer of end user simulation depiction, which is basically the data grid. The data grid gives you information about those 5 simulation bot I have configured so far for performing OneDrive simulations. I see here also some title information, some sensor configuration name information. And then next to it, you see for each simulation step, the individual measurement numbers. So all of those numbers are in milliseconds, except the upload speed and download speed, which is measured in kilobits per second. But all of the other information are just milliseconds figure. So you see, for instance, how long it took for each of the simulation bots for authenticating against the OneDrive application. And you see also for folder creation, folder deletion, uploading file stuff, etc. You see basically how long it takes to perform the simulation step. Beside of the number, you see here also the coloring information, so indicating that this 406 milliseconds, for instance, is a good number compared to the last 30 days of historical data, which is available from that particular bot. And beside of the green information, you see, of course, also red indication. Let's take this example here, because right now we have exactly this information here that it took him 2 seconds to delete a folder for that particular bot. And you see that this is very unique because the other ones, they are not really reporting this issue. So let's drill on into that, which is more or less the third layer of end user simulation, which is basically the time series of this particular simulation bot for OneDrive when it comes to folder deletion. So in the lower graph, you see the folder deletion event, and in the upper graph, you see all the simulation steps consolidated in a stacked bar chart. So, and you see here clearly that usually for deleting a folder, it takes him 300-400 milliseconds, but for whatever reason, it took him almost 2 seconds to perform the folder deletion. So if you want to compare this maybe with historical pattern, you can go back to the past, and you would see here, for instance, that at a point in time he had a similar pattern. But maybe we can switch to file upload, because usually file upload is providing a much better picture when it comes to identifying issues. And let's scroll here to this section here. And what I have here now is just the file upload information in the lower chart, indicating that starting on the 19th of October in the morning, 9 a.m., for whatever reason, the file upload increased from a measurement time, and it easily peaked up to 47 seconds. So uploading a file, uploading a 25 megabyte file in that case, took him 47 seconds, which is far above the value which you usually have based on the baseline pattern from the previous days. So if you just increase that, or if you zoom in or zoom out, you would see that usually this is the pattern you see from that particular bot, from that location. And for whatever reason, we see here a major event where the file upload was impacted by bottleneck of the internet service, the internet line, or network bandwidth consumption, etc., etc. So this is basically the third line of depiction when you want to drill down into end-user simulation. So the first one is the operational dashboard, the second one is the data grid, and the third one is the historical time series of the particular bot. Thank you.